We are now on the third day of our Misa de Gallio, and we've been following themes encapsulated in the word Christmas. So we said that C stands for community, because God is a community of three divine persons, but we only have one God. And He became human. That's why you have letter H stands for human. And then He became human not for anything, but for letter R, which is redemption. And redemption is our topic for today's Eucharistic celebration. Wasn't it enough for God to say by His word, you are saved, just as He created the world? He simply said, let there be light, and there was light. Wasn't it possible for Him just to say, okay, all humanity, you be saved, and then it would happen? Of course, God is all-powerful, and He could have done that. But, moved by love, God the Father chose to send His only begotten Son to become human being like us. And this is explained by another beautiful acronym in the word gospel, reflecting deeper on the mystery of the incarnation, God becoming man. Christology brings forth this analysis that by God becoming a man, by the two natures in the one person of Jesus, we have both God and man, human nature and divine nature in the one person of Jesus Christ. And because that one person of Jesus Christ, that one divine person of Jesus Christ has both the divine nature and the human nature, He satisfied the requirements of reconciliation. Because the being offended, a divine being, the offender, a human being. So, the offended and the offender, human and divine, meet in Jesus Christ, such that Jesus' ultimate sacrifice, His act of offering Himself, His act of oblation in the cross, appeased God through the divine in Him, and represented sinful humanity asking for forgiveness in the human in Him. What a beautiful Christology, my dear brothers and sisters. But I would like to focus on the fact that God assumed humanity, thereby raising to higher levels our human nature. It is as if our human nature has also been divinized, so to say. And so, as a practical application, we should never use our humanity as an excuse to wallow in sin. Some people would say, I'm just human, made of flesh and blood. But don't you think that is an insult to the God who saved you? Don't you think that is an affront to the God who gave His all in order to raise humanity to the level worthy of being part of the divine community in the life hereafter? And so please let us stop justifying our sinfulness by saying, sapagkat kami ay tao lamang. Because when Jesus became human, we did not remain wretched. Humanity was raised to higher levels, and we can now accept grace in order to fight, to go against the current, adjere contra, in order to stand firm on what we believe and refusing to submit ourselves to instinct. So, from now on, let us strive to be perfect, just as our Heavenly Father is perfect. In this way, we see salvation as two-pronged. Initiative of God cooperation of humanity. There cannot be only initiative of God. Why? Because if it were only a matter of initiative of God, then God would be a dictator imposing salvation on everyone. What if somebody wouldn't want to be saved? So there has to be the cooperation of humanity, and they should meet God's initiative, sending His only begotten Son to save us, and human cooperation, submitting ourselves in obedience and willingly to that divine redemption, to that divine act of redemption, then we procure our own salvation by the grace of God. It is not true that there's no need for good works because we're already saved. Yes, we're already saved. But it requires our assent because God respects our freedom. Remember, we can only drag a horse to the well, but we can never force it to drink. Even if the faucet of salvation is flowing, if you don't want to drink from that faucet, no one will force you. No one can force you. Not even God, because God will not, because He respects your freedom. And so, we still need to do good works. Remember the fig tree? God was looking at the fig tree and He was looking for figs because He was hungry, and then there was no fruit on that tree. And He cursed the tree and He said, there is no, that tree has no right to derive nutrients from the soil and producing no fruit. But it was not time for figs. And one of the apostles told Him, Lord, it's not time for figs. But no excuse. To Jesus, in season or out of season, we need to bear fruits. So, it's not true, and stop saying na practical na tayo ngayon, panahon na ngayon mga alisto, hindi na panahon ni Kristo, panahon na daw ng mga alisto. Hindi po, because in season or out of season, whether convenient or not convenient, we have to do good works because salvation has begun by the initiative of God, and we have to cooperate day in and day out. There's no vacation in doing good as a sign of our cooperation and willingness to accept the fruits of salvation.